Were you too comfortable in your relationship and did that lead to a breakup? Are you now too comfortable in your breakup and you're not doing anything to level up and move on? That's the subject for today. Welcome back to the Love Fix, guys. It's Nick, as always, telling you the truth in the hope that you can get through your breakups as easily as possible. I'm back from holiday. I returned from Scotland recently. I'm catching up with my emails and booking in the coaching calls as fast as I can, so bear with me if I haven't responded to your email yet. So, let's get into it. Now, it's okay to be comfortable. And as human beings, we like to be comfortable, we strive to be comfortable, we put the hard work in today so we have a better tomorrow. So tomorrow is a little bit easier for us. But what can happen is we run the risk of being too comfortable to the point where we stop looking after ourselves, we stop investing in ourselves, and we stop investing in our relationships to the point once the honeymoon period is over, it's kind of like, oh, that person will always be there for me. I no longer have to keep myself in shape. I no longer have to do the nice things that make them happy, and so on and so forth. But these are the very things that we have to keep working on. And a lot of the time, people lose their relationships because they became too comfortable. They stopped working on themselves. They stopped doing things for themselves. So just to tie this into my recent trip to Scotland, where I went to climb Ben Nevis, which is the tallest mountain in the country. Now, it was very challenging. I had to train very hard for this. And the whole point of this wasn't because I'm an adrenaline junkie or I particularly like climbing mountains. No, it's because I had to step outside my comfort zone, because the best stuff happens when we step outside our comfort zone. This is the same in relationships. This is the same after a relationship, during a breakup, is that the only way we progress, the only way we are better is to get uncomfortable. Now, this afforded me a wonderful opportunity to have a unique bonding experience with my mates that I would not have been able to do with any other activity. We had to go through these extremes to get to know each other better, to bond and to work on ourselves. And the fact is, we don't truly know who we are until we test ourselves. So you may be wondering what the point is and what am I getting at today? Now, you're listening to this because you're going for a breakup. And what can happen with breakups is that we start thinking about what we could have done. And that's a good and a bad thing. Because if you are thinking about what you could have done better, then that's great. You can take that, work on it, and do better next time. But if you're dwelling on that too much, I could have said this, I could have did that, it's in the past, it's done. And we have to let that go. Now, I'm willing to bet, and I'm guilty of this, guys, that when you get to a certain point into a relationship, you become too comfortable. And what happens when we become too comfortable is that we start violating the social contract that we entered into with our partners, or now our ex-partners. And that social contract that we enter into is the following. I will date you, I will give you exclusive rights to my body, I'll give you exclusive rights to my sexuality, I'll give you exclusive rights to my resources, so on and so forth, provided under the conditions of you maintain your appearance, you maintain your weight, you maintain your sense of humor, you continue to develop the way you are developing, you maintain your projects, your hobbies, and everything else that comes with that, everything else that attracted your ex-partner. They got with you based on what you were doing and how you were looking and how you were progressing when they met you. Then what happens is we get so deep into relationships, we sacrifice ourselves for that relationship, and this is the wrong thing to do. It's counterintuitive. Now, they say on aeroplanes when they go through the crash procedure, they say, please make sure you help yourself before you help anyone else. If you're with a child, make sure you put your oxygen mask on first before you help the child or you help the person next to you. And the reason They say that is because if you're non-functional, if you're dead, you're no good to anybody. So this is the same with relationships. If you're not working on you, if you're not meeting your needs first, then you're useless. You're no good to anybody, especially your partner and especially yourself. So to be a better boyfriend, a better girlfriend, husband, wife, significant other, whatever label you want to give it, you have to make sure that you meet at least 80 to 90% of your needs, and then your partner will make up the rest. And this is how we have good relationships. Now, maybe you failed in this area, and I certainly have done this in the past, where I stopped looking after myself and I started giving way too much to the relationship. So we can carry this into our breakups, where it's very easy just to sit there. It's very easy just to dwell on the past. It's very easy just to watch Netflix and eat ice cream. And hey guys, I like doing that, but it's important that we don't do it too often. It's important that we get out of the house. It's important that we just talk to random people and start up conversations. It's important that we put ourselves in uncomfortable situations. Maybe that's just having a cold shower. Maybe that is starting the gym. Maybe that is going to therapy or speaking to a coach, getting relationship counseling or breakup counseling. Maybe that is confronting people who are pissing you off, holding your boundaries. So I challenge every one of you here to do at least one thing a month that is going to make you uncomfortable. Now, it doesn't have to be anything grandiose as going to climb a mountain. That was very much a bucket list thing for me to do, and I probably won't ever do it again. But some of the things that you can do to make you uncomfortable is have a cold shower, journal, therapy, go to the gym, start a new class, start new hobbies. Talk to the attractive person behind the counter the next time you go shopping, and you say, hey, how's your day been so far? They will probably appreciate that you've taken the time to talk to them, and just have a bit of small talk. Now, maybe nothing comes out of that, but if you practice that, and next time you go to see that person and you say, hey, how you been? How you been since last time? Maybe something can happen. Maybe nothing happens. But when you do get the opportunity to meet someone important to you, you've been developing the skills necessary just to talk to them like another human being, without putting them on a pedestal, without having the fear of rejection. And guys, you are going to get rejected. Even the above average looking person will probably get rejected 70-80% of the time. So that means us average mortals, you and I, we're probably going to get rejected 90% of the time. And that's okay, because if you get used to being rejected, it's no big deal. So, okay, cool, we're not for each other, I'll talk to the next person. So get out of the house, get uncomfortable, call your friends up, say, hey, let's go and do something adventurous. Let's go and visit another town, another country. And what this will help you do, it will help you find a depth within yourself. It'll help you find skills that you never knew you had, and it'll help you find ways of thinking that you never thought were possible. And most importantly, it will help you not to think about your ex so much. And you're going to think about your ex, it happens. But we have to get to the point where we're not thinking about them so much, where we're thinking about ourselves more than we think about anybody else. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but you must put yourself first. Loving yourself and validating yourself is a selfish process. And if you can achieve that, I promise you, the confidence that will come from that will be far more attractive to the opposite sex. And you will just feel better in your own skin. And as I said before, when you feel great in your own skin, you are bulletproof. So maybe you were too comfortable in your last relationship, and maybe you took it for granted, and maybe you violated the social contract that you entered into with your ex, and that's why they left. Doesn't mean it has to happen again, and it doesn't mean that you have to violate the social contract with yourself. So do the shit today that your future self will thank you for. That's all for today. If you'd like to work with me on your personal breakup situation, my details are below in the description. You can arrange a voice coaching session with me at thelovefix20@gmail.com. As for the rest of you, I am replying to your emails as fast as I possibly can, and I will arrange coaching calls with you. Until then, I'll see you on the other side.